Good morning. Welcome to Gulfstream today on this Thursday afternoon. Well, still morning, I guess I should say. Brian Nato and Samantha Perry with you. The fast main track we've got upon us today, a firm turf course, and an exciting day of 9 races on the card. And Brian, happy to be joined with you today, and we've got some exciting things going on. We'll talk about more in the lightning round, but the final invite list for the Pegasus World Cup 2025 got sent out yesterday. We'll draw for that come Sunday, and the Rainbow Six situation yesterday left unsolved.
Yep, $225,000 in the estimated jackpot. Should be another big pool today. Very competitive sequence today in races 4 through 9. Pretty formful yesterday, but today could be a fun one. There's some spots I think you can kind of bob and weave and look for a price or two, and that pool is growing very, very quickly. And as you mentioned too, that Pegasus now front and center. We'll talk about that in the lightning round, and of course Sunday, the actual draw for that race and the 13-race, 7-graded stakes card that we can't wait for.
Yeah, it'll be really exciting, and it's just it seems like it got here so quick. But in race number 1, we're on the grass course. It's a 5-furlong sprint. The rails are at 52 feet here. We do have a scratch of the number 3 Gummy, but what remains is a competitive 10-horse field. That early pick 5 pool has just been attracting so much money, over $200,000 it seems in the late and the early, and you've got the ticket.
Take a look at it now. Whittled it down to $48. I had Gummy as the 5th horse I was using, so that wasn't a big deal for me. Race number 2, the 4, Bonmati on top. You can see the single, my best bet of the day. One special act should be a minuscule price now with a couple of scratches in that spot. And race number 4, I scratch into, unfortunately, the 5, Warlord Cruzan, who I'm not, I don't want that. Honestly, I don't like to switch them up after just a scratch, but we'll talk about that race. And then race number 5, that's my long shot, and that is the 8, Love Hate for Kathleen O'Connell on what is a $48 early pick 5 ticket.
That was my long shot last time on debut. All right. 5 furlongs, grass sprint. The outside posts will have a bit of a tough time here with the rails at 52 feet, but the 1, Sophia Paola, so you went with on top.
This is a total stab. Looks like she's fast, at least judging by her last work there, albeit over the Tapeta. The dam was all turf sprint. She earned almost $500,000. They paid $180 for an Into Mischief, which is a little bit lower. I don't.
That's nothing.
That's nothing, right? I don't love that, but not in for a tag. It's dangerous to do this, but you look at this field, at least on paper, and it might be silly to say because it's a turf sprint, I don't really see any speed in this race.
No.
At all. It's a highway out there. You get to the front and you win. It's as simple as that. It's a statement of fact. Maybe she's going to break run, and she has to from down in there.
There's no way she vet at the sale. She worked 10 flat. She worked before 9 a.m., so that's a good set to go into. It's 54 degrees, but there's no way she vetted. If she breathes 10 flat and that kind of breeding, there's just no way in heck that she vetted. So I'm a little bit hesitant to her, but there are no works on her in the afternoon, or in the morning. So I don't know. It's kind of hard to say how she is from that sale to now, because that's been a long time.
Right.
The 2, Bunratty Manor, we haven't seen her. It kind of seems like she might bring some speed.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. You got Louis Saez. She's been off for a long time, but Rusty Arnold's a very strong 27%.
Yeah.
They tried her in the Royal Palm race in May on her debut. She wasn't bet. She broke last from the rail. We have no idea what she can do whatsoever. So I agree with you there that she's probably going to be forward in here.
The Shriver, this filly here, it was just too little, too late behind a runaway winner for Wesley Ward.
Yeah, she was running on late, and I think she's the horse to beat in here, especially now with a scratch at Gummy, who was going to take money early in the betting. She's 7-5. I mean, it makes sense. That would be way too low, but she's probably the rightful horse to beat in here, and here's a good stat to kind of back it up.
Yeah, big time. I feel like Christophe Clement is one that takes his time with horses and not really known, I feel like, for turf sprinters.
Yeah.
Would you say that's a fair?
Yeah, that's definitely fair.
So I think this is a pretty good stat. We'll probably see her going around 2 turns here pretty soon. Starship Impulsive, we've got a replay of her. She's coming out of a Thankfully race, which was a Jorge Delgado pardon me, Gustavo
Gustavo.
Delgado. 73 feet were the rails this day.
Yeah, and this is, watch her check back here. That's a real problem right here. She's going to lose key position, so she's already under the gun. I thought she actually ran pretty well. This is just a ice cold barn right now. And
Yeah.
here she is had to make up all this ground entering the far turn. For her to get beaten just 2 1/4 lengths, and to be perfectly honest, even when Steve Dwoskin is going as good as he ever. He's not a guy that's going to crank him fully. You can see she had a little bit of trouble there. I like the fact that she wanted to run on. She's an underneath kind of candidate for me just because, like I said, I need to see the barn pick up a W.
Yeah, there's a couple barns like that that you have to kind of take note of throughout the week. Now, race number 2, it's a $17,500 non-winners of 2 lifetime race. It's for fillies and mares, 4 and up, a mile and a 16th on the Tapeta track. We do have a scratch of the number 8 Sil Jim, and I have my early pick 4. We'll take a quick look at it here, and it's an $8 play for me. The 5 is my anchor, and the start of my late pick 5 as well, just singling that horse. Race number 3, I don't really trust anybody in there. I have His Choice on top, but it's not like I really trust her at all. In race number 4, I do have the 8 on top. That is Began in Greenpoint. So an $8 play for me in this second race here, Brian. Now just a 6-horse field, and you started it off with the 4, Bon Mati.
Yeah, I mean, winless on the Tapeta. I get that, but going to stretch out and run on the Tapeta for the first time for Carlos David. Sprinted 2 back on the Tapeta. Has races that are way better than these. Can we get to it? Well, that remains to be seen. The fact that Luis Saez is here, I think, is very interesting because he's not a guy Carlos David is going to ride a lot. There might be some real intent here to try to pick up a W.
Yeah, it seems like it for sure.
Yeah.
The 7 I don't have anywhere. Oya Thunder, well, it's not that I don't have anywhere, but this horse at least has a win on the Tapeta.
Yeah, and got the tightener on the turf out of the way, and at 121-1, didn't run badly at all.
Nope.
To be 4th in an 11-horse field, and she's way better on Tapeta, as you said, has a win, and I would think second off the layoff. She tried older last time for the first time. I think she can move forward.
Yeah, the 2 Spicy Guacamole, I know that the Tapeta races have been a little bit behind the 8 ball, but at one point, this filly did have speed.
Yeah.
I don't know where it went. I mean, it seems like on the grass course 2 starts back, she kind of got some of it back, and last start too. So maybe we're on the.
Yeah, I don't have any problem with her at all.
Yeah.
I mean, she was in way over her head on the turf last time, but like you said, she doesn't have a win on the Tapeta. She's run well over it on the pass.
Yeah, she has. Race number 3, it is 6.5 furlongs and maiden $12,500 level on the main track. We scratched the number 2, New Baby, in the number 5, Princess Deb from this race here, and the 6, One Special Act. Did the scratches affect you at all this race?
No, this is my best bet. I think she's absolutely might lap this field. She's the only one that's shown any kind of ability.
Yeah.
And I'm going to use that term loosely.
Yeah.
His Choice, the 1, I don't think she really wants to win, and she's drawn terribly in terms of the only other horse to worry about, the 6. So I just thought she's my best bet of the day. Unfortunately, 2 scratches are going to knock her way down.
Yeah, this is a tough race to really get a good line on anybody because they've shown a little bit, but not enough. I think the 7 is, if anything, kind of interesting here with the blinkers going on.
Yeah. Showed some speed last time. Big numbers.
Anybody in this race, If the Kathleen O'Connell filly is on the right track, which that was a good little tightener last time out, she should be okay here.
And what about His Choice?
Well, His Choice, I don't trust her at all, but I like the fact that she'll get the 6.5 furlongs instead of the 6 today.
Right. Yeah, and she's going to have. She's probably going to be in front too.
I'm just wondering if she'll just run away.
Yeah.
She might,
it's
or
possible.
she might not. Yeah. Well, we'll see. The barn at least got a win finally with the Instagram girl. No.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I think so.
Your best bet.
Yeah, yep. So I don't know. We'll see there. That's 3 of them. We've got 6 to go. We're gonna take a short break. When we come back, Ron Nicoletti will have his Rainbow 6 ticket. So don't go away.
And they're off.
Access past performances. With one best-in-class product, you now get all 3 past performance formats. Easily switch between views. Access the most trusted information in horse racing with DRF All Access past performances. Go to drf.com and use coupon code 1FREEPP for a free single card today.
Welcome back to Gulfstream today. Brian Nato and Samantha Perry with you as we've got 3 down, 6 to go here on this Thursday afternoon, and we've got the start of the Rainbow Six in race number 4, and it's a claiming $8,000 non-winners of 3 lifetime 5.5 furlongs on the Tapeta track, and Ron Nicoletti has got his Rainbow Six ticket, and we'll take a quick look at it here, Brian.
Yeah, and we were late off the break here because there was a key late scratch that just came in, and we were trying to just get updated a little bit. Race number 5, the 5 just came out. Roar of the Beast, who was a major player in that spot. So just take note of that. Obviously, Pete's coming up. Race 5, the 5 is out. You can see Ronnie going 4 deep, and in the nightcap, the turf race, it's a really good one. He'll be 4 deep in there on a 43.20 ticket, and as Samantha said, 225 in the estimated jackpot.
There you see his. Are you going to go through his ticket?
I did.
Oh, I didn't hear you talk much about it. Okay. Well, in race 8, that's his bold single there of the 6. I think.
That horse actually is that.
That's Chad Brown's horse.
I really wanted to make Malarchuk the morning line favorite, and now his stablemate scratches out of that race. He kind of looks down the road to me, and I think they're going to hammer him anyway because this is his trip today. A speedy 1-turn mile, whereas Tuscan Gold, he probably would have been favored because of the class and the Preakness and all of that stuff. I think he was really up against it today. So Malarchuk, I think, is in a good spot.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting
race.
It's a very good race. Now, race 4, the number 3, Awesome Wind, is out. It leaves a field of 7 here in this start of the Rainbow Six. And the number 5, you said you scratched into Warlord Cruzan.
Yeah, I had the 3 on top. Let's show you Warlord and Beginning Greenpoint.
Yep.
Neither of these horses has any idea where the heck the winner's circle is. So tread very lightly. They bet Beginning Greenpoint last time. I still have no idea why. Warlord Cruzan, as he does, settles and punches. He always runs on. He never wins. He's finally gotten off the rail, and he's still not winning. So this is now a race with Awesome Wind, who had some tactical speed. I think you can go a lot of different ways in here. Blue Spearman, I think the 4 horse is the big move up in this spot. We'll get to him in a second. Banneker is just absolutely streaking right now. Warlord Cruzan ran well, but, it's just not ideal. Beginning Greenpoint was down on the inside, I guess, the whole way. That's not ideal, but you just so many starts between drinks for both of our horses.
Yeah, it's kind of tough to really make a big case for those. Very hesitant. You mentioned Blue Spearman. If anything, this horse at one point did have a lot of speed.
He did, and the blinkers are coming off today. I don't know what's going on with him. He did not run an inch last time. I don't really know what happened. We'll see today. Maybe it was just a vintage Tapeta.
Maybe,
draw a line through it and come on back, because his best race is as good as anybody in here. But we'll have to see, and he hasn't obviously been quite the same off the claim either.
No, he hasn't, which poses a lot of questions.
Yes.
I do like the blinkers off move, if anything, but that's a hard horse to trust here in what is a pretty wide open start to the Rainbow Six. Now, race number 5, it's a maiden optional claiming. These are for the 3-year-olds. 3-year-old Florida breds, or you're in for the claiming tag of $50,000. If you're Florida bred, you don't have to run for the tag. It's that 1-turn mile. We scratch the 2, and then as Brian mentioned, the late, really key scratch of the 5, Roar of the Beast. He was my anchor and my early pick 4 and late pick 5. I will send out my ticket once I get it reworked. With the early pick 5 does start here. That was a single, so I kind of need to go back to the drawing board. But as you said, love-hate. Blinkers go on, and the stretch out to the 1 mile.
Yeah, he's my long shot in here, and you look through this race, I think, Samantha, he's the only horse that wants to be in here. The others are in here because they're not very good. Buzz Rocket, Midnight Vendage, Mustang Bay, they're all maiden special weight horses that couldn't hack it. Well, he's not, and he's didn't run poorly. You said he was your long shot
Yep.
on debut. He didn't run poorly. Blinkers. He might make the front in here too. I'd love to see an aggressive ride to
Yeah.
make the front against a bunch of horses that, if we do this show a year from now, they might all still be in this race. So I'm just going to play against those kinds of. Buzz Rocket has no speed whatsoever.
Oh, I hate. I mean, I don't hate Buzz Rocket. I should not say that. There's no really speed for Buzz
Right.
Rocket, and it's just like trying something again and again. Love hate though for me. My knock is I don't like coming back in 12 days.
Yeah, I don't mind. I don't know. I get it. It's
Yeah.
quick, but I don't know. Kathleen O'Connell, in her we trust. So
Yeah.
I think could almost be a decent time. We'll see.
The 4 gain was a complete no-show on the Tapeta last time out, but the dirt races were just better than this, and I feel like a better group than he's going to get here today. If anything, the barn did have a win yesterday. It kind of seems like Bobby DeBona's been kind of threatening to win and just like right there, but not getting to the winner's circle. And maybe the Lasix on will add something to him.
Yeah, I don't think you can play a serious ticket without him.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
And you mentioned Buzz Rocket. I don't. Does the 1-turn mile help him?
I don't know what would help him, to be quite honest. A head start might help him. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's 29%. It's a good stat for the Hall of Famer, Bill Mott. And he is taking the biggest drop in all of racing. He faced some okay fields at Churchill Downs. They tried turf last time. That didn't work.
No.
He added Lasix last time. That didn't work. They're not giving him away. I mean, that's a positive. But you just look at his running lines and no speed at all. And these 1-turn miles can be so speedy.
They could.
He's just the type of horse they're going to bet, and he's the type of horse you just have to play against. Probably the same Midnight Vengeance.
Yeah,
I have no idea what he can do.
Yeah, you're going to take a shorter price too because it's Irad, it's Rapoli, it's Todd Pletcher, but this horse needs to have a form reversal.
Well,
if you started off on the grass, it's not a good sign.
Turf sprinting to Peter routing and didn't do any running in either of them.
Right.
So be very, very careful here.
Yep, I would as well. Now, race 6, claiming $25,000, a mile and a 16th on the Tapeta track. We scratched the number 1 Mexican Sugar from here. It's a field of 6, and Brian has got the ticket.
Yeah, we'll take a look at it now. I've just got the single here of Royal Dame. We'll talk about it in a second. Race 7, 3 deep. I put Madness on top. I mean, he's going to be a short price. She's going to be a short price, so we'll have to prove it, though, on dry land today. Race number 8, as I've already mentioned, I think Mallerchuck the 6 is going to be really, really tough in there. And the finale is just very difficult. They're all the same horse, literally within a length or two of each other. And good, better, best is my top pick because, 5 of them come out of the same race? And I'm not going with that race.
Yeah, it's not a very strong race to come out of it. Now, race 6, you single with the 5 here, Royal Dame. We've got the replay, and I'll let you talk about it.
Yeah, it's been a while, and I get that it's actually been over a year, but this is the last time and the only time she's ever been on Tapeta for Rob Falcone, and this was just a tour de force against way better. She's been on turf since. I don't think she's run poorly on turf either, so it's not like you have to wonder where her form is. I have a lot of respect for the job Jimmy Riccio does with placing horses, and I think Royal Dame she's going to be tough against this kind of group today.
Yep, she will, especially on a pretty big class drop, I think, as well.
Yeah.
What about, you see she just will draw away here.
Yeah, very fast race, too.
Yeah.
Regardless of what kind of, figures you're using.
Yep. I'm with Don't Mess with Tess. This was the ride last time. It was just like
she did not have an idea. We could have shown the whole race to be perfectly honest.
Right.
She did not have a good ride. Her lack of speed bugs me a little bit, but I don't have any real knocks on her.
The good thing for her is in her last 2 starts she's been on the rail.
Yeah.
So maybe now we'll see something like the trajectory change a little bit. Junior Alvarado gets aboard here, which is interesting because this isn't a rider that usually rides for this barn.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
And maybe they're just trying to shake it up a little
Yeah.
bit and try to get it going. And you're right. This horse was basically in the 2-path the entire trip last time. And that's just, it's not where you want to
No.
be the entire way around on the Tapeta. And she had a world of trouble as well. So this is a much tougher group, though. And that's a confident move by Sam and Herm
Yeah.
Walensky to bump her from 10 to 25.
Yeah, maybe they just wanted to hurry up and get that last race, that bad taste out of her mouth. I don't blame them.
Yeah.
Now, race number 7, it's a $6,250 claiming level, 6 furlongs on the main track here, and a competitive race for the level, for
Agree.
sure. Yeah, the 3 Madness. You can try to get cute in a race like this, but I think it's not that way.
No, we'll take a look at it. There's really not a lot going on here,
No.
but she's never run on a fast main track. So this was the slop. She had to win. I get all of it,
Yeah.
but if nothing else, she absolutely did it impressively, just completely bottomed out the field. It was off the claim for Safi, and he just immediately puts her on the main track. She's kind of spinning. I don't think she handled the surface. You can kind of see it here.
Yeah, it is like she's just going up and down a little
Yeah.
bit, which can be deceiving because sometimes you see when they win so far on the dirt, you wonder if it was the slop that helped them. But I would agree with you there. For
Yeah,
sure.
she wins by 6.5. By
Yeah.
the way, it looked like she was
She
going
didn't look
nowhere.
like it,
No,
yeah.
and I'm also probably a byproduct of who she was facing. I get it, but 2 of these gals are back in here today, so
Yeah.
it's not like there's much happening here, or this has come some crazy class rise or anything like that. So I'm okay with her in here.
My long shot is the 8
Okay.
in this race. There's only been 2 dirt starts ever in this horse's career, and it was at Laurel. The competition was not much. I'm going to tell you the last race that she won, there was only 3 horses in the
Right.
race. So, but I love the fact that they put her in on the dirt here today.
Yeah, and I used her. She's
Yeah.
going to be a big price, but I agree. It's right there in front of you. It was a really good race. She's 2 for 2 in the exacta,
Yep.
and she's got the fact that she's run well on a fast main track over the heavy favorite. So I don't have a problem at all because she should be a very square price in here.
Yeah, she should indeed. Now, race number 8, this is the feature, and it's a competitive one. These are horses we'll see in stakes,
Yeah.
I'm sure, here within a month or two. It's a mile on the main track, allowance optional claimers, and the number 1 Tuscan Gold is out, but it leaves the stablemate
Right.
of Tuscan Gold, that is Marlachuk.
Yeah, I thought it was a great spot to try to beat Tuscan Gold, who's,
Yeah.
quite honestly, frankly, will win graded stakes this year, I'm sure,
Probably.
for Chad Brown. But today was the day. That's not the point anymore. But Malarchuk, with the speed at this 1-turn mile, seemingly has been working very, very well. They were working in company, it certainly looks
Right.
like, up at Payson. They were fast works, hasn't been out since April, but a meaner, tougher, stronger, more mature Malarchuk freewheeling on the front end is going to be a real problem for some of these, because a lot of these other horses and his main rivals, you're not confusing them with speed kind of horses.
No, not by any means.
Your horse is really the only other one with a hint of early speed.
Yeah, and what I like about Hartend is at least he's got a recent race on the page. And,
Sure.
And he was one that he needed the race. He got a little bit hot in the paddock, so I want to watch him here today. I'll be able to find out pretty quick where he's at, but he needed the race. He was not 100% keyed
Right.
up for this, but I don't know where his form is, to be
Yeah.
honest. But I do like the cutback. The 4, Who's the King? There are 2 Safi horses in this race. In my late pick 5 ticket, I wasn't using either of them because I wanted to use both of them if that was the case, and I just
Sure.
couldn't do it financially. But Who's the King at least has IRAD.
Yeah, I mean, he moves up to me. I was willing to play against him. I know he's won in his only start here at Gulfstream Park. I kind of feel like he's a little dressed up, and this
Yeah.
is going to be mighty sharp for him because 3 out of his last 4 races were at 9 furlongs, and you got the funky Saratoga mile race that they have up there. I know he won at this trip here. This is just such a much better group today.
Yeah, I like God's Timing better. If I was going to use
Wow.
either of them, I like the breeze on the 10th of January was really good. So that's just food for thought. But again, in my late
Right.
pick 5, I wasn't going to use either of them. I feel like Timeout is kind of interesting coming back.
I just worry, again, his running style.
Might not be, yeah.
No speed, and does he need the race too?
Yeah, well, he possibly could.
Yeah.
It's a taxing distance, this one turn
Yeah.
mile for sure. But what a great feature we've got that parlays into the finale with a claiming $20,000 event. It's 1 mile on the grass course here. Like I mentioned at the top, the rails are at 52 feet. We do scratch the 4 diamonds for Lily and the 11 Fish Mooney. And the number 2 is who you've got on top. Good, better, best.
Yeah, we talked already and hinted at it. There's a race that we'll show you in a second
Yeah.
on 12:19 that you didn't pick anybody. I didn't want to pick anybody,
No.
so that's why
Yeah.
good, better, best inside. We've got some speed. 2 starts on the Gulfstream turf. 2 exacta finishes. Jorge Delgado now had this horse at Tampa. Didn't really fire at Tampa, but that's not a bad group over there for
No.
the 25 starter. And I just really like the post and the speed from here.
Yeah, that helps a lot. And the Tampa race, it was better than it looked
for sure.
on
Yeah.
paper. Yeah, so I feel like that helps. And she's with a much, I feel like, softer group.
Yeah.
The 3 Strand of Gold, we'll show
Yep.
this replay here. And as Brian alluded to, it's kind of hard to take anybody from here.
Yeah, they all hit the line together, which is never a good race either. I mean,
No.
when 5 or 6 or 7 of them are blanket finish. Strand of Gold, it's Rohan and it's Irad, so you're going to get bet there. She won for different connections last time. Rohan, a little quiet, I think we can all agree with at the championship meet. Doesn't have a lot of early speed either, and I'm sorry, when you're all out to beat Musical Romance
Yeah.
and Confer, I'm not coming back to you.
No, you either want to ride with this race or not at all,
Yeah.
and we're kind of choosing
Exactly.
the latter here. Tough spot the way that Confer kind of came up the rail there,
Mm-hmm.
but still, it's not enough to really enamor you by any means. You've got the 10 in the mix. Amazing Queen.
Yeah, we have a replay of her. Watch what happens here. Now, Love Mammy Love comes back to win, and she's going to basically save every inch of ground, while Amazing Queen is just going to get marooned here out wide, and the winner just saved so much more
Yeah.
ground. The problem with Amazing Queen today is she's got a bad post position again,
Yeah.
so we'll see. But she spotted distance basically every step of the way. We get Luis Saez aboard today. Maybe he can put a little more speed into her as well. I think she's a legitimate threat, but the post and running style worries me. Whereas conversely, your horse now, it should be a big numbers, does have the speed to,
Wow.
if not get to the front, she's
Yeah.
got the speed to be there.
Yeah, she's pretty quick.
Yeah.
Now, will she hang on long enough? That's a great question. But John Velasquez has been on her before. That was on the Tapeta, though, way back in February of
Right.
last year. But I think it's a good sign that he pops aboard her here again today. And at least one thing, she knows how to be in front.
Yep, no doubt about it. If aggressive ride here, if she clears, she could be dangerous. Scratch is going to hurt the price a little bit, but it should still be pretty honest.
Yeah, I agree completely. That is 9 races for us today on this Thursday afternoon with the Fast Track and Firm Turf Course. But we've got our lightning round and exciting things happening right now as we get even closer and closer to Pegasus. But the invitation lists are now finalized.
Yeah, finalized yesterday. So all that's left is to draw this race. It's as simple as that. There you can see there. That's the ideal field, and
Yep.
we'll figure it all out early Sunday afternoon, right? The
Yeah.
draw for all 3 races will
Yep,
be
all
out.
3 races on Sunday. There's the World Cup, and what a competitive field it is. Everybody who's here is the best older dirt division we have.
Yeah, I said yesterday that I think it's hands down the deepest and most competitive Pegasus will have ever run here.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's no clear winner.
No, there's no clear winner, and there's really no, horses that are out of their element. And in the past we've had, Arrogate and California Chrome going at it, and everybody else was kind of down the list. You could literally on this list right here, if we're fortunate enough to get this group, you could come up with 10 or 11 different winners.
Oh, could not agree more.
Right.
And we can look at the turf too, because another one that has just really sharpened.
Yeah, this is a fun race. We're going to get some Godolphin Blue Bloods in there with Nation's Pride and Charlie Appleby. We've got a strong California contingent
Yeah.
as well. You see Mark Cassie and and Shug is loaded for bear there too.
Yeah, and we'll get into the Shug horses in just a second. But as we mentioned, the post position draw, that is on Sunday between the earlier races. So that's when we will be drawing this card, and Brian will have his hands full doing the morning line with those. But it's such an exciting time. And then speaking of the turf, we had two of Shug's horses breeze together. This is Integration and Battle of Normandy that we'll take a look at here at Payson Park.
Battle Normandy ran really, really well in the Fort Lauderdale. I think he's an interesting price player in the Pegasus turf because he will be a big number in that race. What are you seeing here? Anything? Integration is kind of, I don't know, he disappoints me more often than not.
I don't blame you, but we show it even further, Integration definitely got the best of them on the gallop out, but still, it's a race where they'll probably have one more breeze this weekend, and it'll be all systems go. So we'll see it. But like you said, at least Battle of Normandy has had a trip across the track recently.
Yeah, I mean, Integrations is a better horse. There's no doubt about it. But I think he was favored in this race somehow last year, which was just totally incorrect. And he
was weird.
Yeah, he was fourth in the race.
Yeah, that seems like a lifetime ago. Your best bet today?
Yeah, it's going to be a real short number now in race 3 with a couple scratches. The 6-1 Special Act.
Well, mine's already a short price. It's in the opener here with Striver.
Yeah.
Your long shot.
Yeah, I'm in that maiden claimer on the dirt in race 5. Love Hate on quick turnaround there for Kathleen O'Connell.
All right, I like it, and I'm with Bullock. Going to try the dirt here at Gulfstream Park for the first time. So that's it. That's 9 for you here today at Gulfstream Park. We're going to send it upstairs to Pete Aiello. He'll give you the scratches and changes. The master of ceremonies, Ron Nicoletti, will be out with us here for the opener. Best of luck today, and enjoy your Thursday.